This is the value of wrestling, the revolutionary force in wrestling podcasting.
Oh, yeah. Whoops, everything going down, everything back. Okay. Welcome on the big time. This is your review show for Dark Side of the Ring, episode 5 from season 5, the episode of The Life and Legends of Harley Race. And this was another good one. Last week's Brutus Beefcake just didn't hit it for me, but this week was another good one. We had the really good one about learning the history of John Cena, seeing Marcus Bagwell and the return of Bagwell, and then the Terry Gordy. All very good. And then we got the Brutus Beefcake one, which was decent. I'm not saying it was horrible. It just didn't hit the points for me. But then we get to this one with Harley Race, and you just have to have a whole new level of respect for somebody like Harley Race. When you hear the real stories, when you get all the details behind it, it's an amazing story, and this one really dove into it. Now, I'll preface this with a preface. Never mind. I know the word I'm trying to say, but it's not coming to my head. Yes, there was accusations of domestic violence in this episode on Harley Race against his wife. He made some accusations. Um, nothing in a legal sense. You make out of it. So he never was convicted of anything, but there are allegations. So she did say some of that. So I know that may turn off some people to Harley Race and make some people not want to, like him for this reasons. And that's fine. Everybody's entitled to their opinion, and if you heard this story and that upset you or angered you, or you think Harley Race shouldn't be respected in the way that many people do, then I definitely understand that. But that was a small part of it that was there. But overall, it was a story of tragedy, a story of triumph. Harley Race leaving home, going to work on a farm for the Zbyszkos. Stanislaus Zbyszko and his brother, we're talking about the living legend, Larry Zbyszko. This family, them getting him into wrestling, him wrestling on the Harney shows, getting over big in the wrestling world, and that he was a true tough guy. Harley Race didn't feel pain. He took this. He fought. Harley Race was an amazing talent and got himself over. And they had the tragedy. He married his first wife, and car wreck. She died while she was pregnant with his first child. That tragedy really hurts, and really, it's a tragic event. That's really sad to hear about. But he was able to come back and still be this amazing talent. He married a second wife. They talked about him getting stabbed in the back.
When Barbara switched to turbo
there
attack?
was just so many times that things happened with Harley, and here he is. And there's very few people that you talk about that were true tough men in wrestling, and we got to hear from the likes of Trevor Murdoch, Mick Foley, Jim Cornette in this episode with real in-depth insight, and it was just a really good story overall in here, and I think it grew more respect for Harley Race. His son was there to talk about it. It was a really, really in-depth look into the story of Harley Race, and it was another one of those that made me respect Harley Race for a lot of the things he went through that I didn't know. I know Harley Race as a younger one. I remember him as King Harley Race when it came to WWE or WWF at the time, and then as Vader's manager back in the WCW days. It's really a lot more where I saw Harley Race, and well, there was a lot there. They talk about when Vince McMahon first took over WWF from his father and tried to, take over the territories. First, he tried to get Harley Race in 1983 to not show up at the Clash of Champions, which he lost the title and helped put Ric Flair on the map. Vince tried to work with that to get Harley Race not to show up, and Harley Race was a man of his word and didn't do it. And then Vince went into the Kansas City territory where Harley Race owned part of the territory there. And Harley Race got pissed off and was going after Hulk Hogan. He was going to kill Hulk Hogan. He was pissed off, went into the arena with a gun, couldn't find Hogan, lit the ring on fire. Crazy, crazy stories. Eventually, he did sell because it was the money. And then when he had that he burnt, lit the ring on fire. Supposedly, is what the stories are. Some of these things are true, but they're just some wild and crazy stories. Eventually, he went on to wrestle, and then shortly after that, he got into a boating accident. He was at home. He was drinking very heavily. Went out and rode a boat and crashed into somebody else in a boat. And at that time, it's when his wife of that time divorced him, and he pretty much lost everything because the people in the boat accident sued him. Were rewarded about $250,000 in that time. His wife took a bunch of money from him in the divorce, in the legal sense, and left a lot of scars. And so then that's when he came back to WCW. He did his thing, eventually being inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame. But this was a really good, solid dark side of the ring. I think I grew to respect Harley Race even more after the fact, more than I knew about him, and just how really tough he was. I mean, there's a few names when we talk about true toughness in the world of professional wrestling. Harley Race definitely stands that, and definitely stands the test of time. We talk about the spot with the table that he went crashing through and blew out his intestines and had a hernia. We almost lost him many, many years ago, way before that, and that really slowed down his wrestling career even at that time. So there's just a lot of history to read there, learn there. So another great episode to go watch if you want to learn about Harley Race. All these episodes have overall been good. Mostly the other ones have been great outside of the Brutus. The Beefcake one, which just didn't get me as excited as even the Harley Race one. It was great storytelling, hearing from Mick Foley, Trevor Murdoch, Jim Cornette. Just a lot there to take in and digest, and just you grow more respect for Harley Race with all of that at the end of the day. So, I mean, if you're looking for another good episode, this would be one of the ones I would put at the top of my list. John Tenta, Terry Gordy, Harley Race, Buff Bagwell, all good this season. Brutus Beefcake was a good story. If you like Brutus Beefcake, you'd like the story, but I don't think it changed much of my opinion of Brutus as much as I grew respect for Marcus Bagwell, seeing that he's recovering and trying to make a comeback. Not as much as I've seen, came to love John Tenta even more, and everything he gave to the Pences. And of course, I wasn't a big Terry Gordy fan. I knew a little bit about Terry Gordy, but I watched Terry Gordy video, and I think Terry Gordy was a badass. And then you watch Harley Race, and you can just only respect the man and what he brought to the business, and what he's left, his imprint on the business. Anyways, this is the Dark Side of the Ring, episode 5. This was the legend of Harley Race, and it was a good episode. So, I mean, go check it out, and we will catch you on the next one. So make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. We are trying to make a march to 1,000. Make sure you like this video. Drop your comments in the below. Tell me what you thought of the Harley Race video. There'll be more content coming out, and tonight will be a Dynamite post-show review, so make sure you ring that bell for notifications so you'll be here when we go live. Me and Mr. Clark going to cover Dynamite tonight. Going to be interesting. Make sure you're here for that. For now, I'm out of here.